Some people will see you as a dollar sign and you may be blind to that. Some people may see you as a dollar sign and you may be blind to that. Let me go ahead and play that clip once again.
The first generational wealth builders. You're the first generation that's doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily come from a family where you had a silver spoon in your mouth. And so you're learning things, you're expanding things, you're tapping into types of wealth that your family just didn't experience before.
Right.
This is all new to you. How many times do we see those athletes, for example, or those in just different high visibility industries that come into a whole lot of money real fast, and then we see it having to be divided because this marriage didn't last, this relationship didn't last, this woman just came to take you for all you had, this man was only with you for your money. It goes both ways. So it's like, because we're not giving so much attention to this area, we're out here working and grinding and we're making more money. We coming up, and then you can't put new wine into old wineskins. And so then you're trying to put your money away, and then somebody else is just coming and taking it because you're not being more careful about the decisions that you're making as it relates to your relationship.
All right, there we go. There we go. Some people will see you as a dollar sign and you may be blind to that. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Lady Downess. What are your thoughts?
The time I wasn't gonna speak yet.
I got something if you're not ready.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I think she was talking about like new money, like first generation of wealth building. I personally think, I know you guys call it vet, but I also think you should test people. Like, give them a tester, throw it out there to see if they're willing to build with you. And I think there are ways that you can check on people's, what's the word? I can't think, sorry. Whoa, am I frozen?
Intentions? Nah, you're not frozen.
When I'm looking at it, I'm frozen. Everybody's frozen. But you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Tiege Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Tiege Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free U.S. shipping. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off your first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
Okay, so I'll give you an example. When my sister met her husband, she was financially stable herself, but he was way more well off than her. He was a millionaire. And I personally think when someone comes into your life, they shouldn't be coming with their hand out. They should be coming to see if there's a way that they could make your life better. So she was seeing how she could assist him, how she could be there for him, how she could add value to his life. And there was a time where right before he was considering proposing, he put a test in place. He asked her, he said, hey, something went wrong.
Damn, something did go wrong. God stopped it. I knew exactly. Let me just say this. I knew exactly where she was going with that. And I like the fact, I think she used the term high value, which was a part of my response anyway. So the funny thing about this, some people will look at you as a dollar sign. I don't really take offense to it because it's all a part of the game. Like, we're literally biologically wired to participate in hierarchies. Biologically, we're wired to do that. We are supposed to sort ourselves out into a hierarchy. And women and men alike, will try their best to choose mates and behave in a manner that will increase their rank in the hierarchy. So I don't really, feel any way about people acknowledging that they're trying to do better in life or get with somebody that's more beneficial to them than the last person was. That's literally how we biologically wired. So the way I look at it is, because a man, like a high value man, is a man that has the ability to produce wealth. A high value woman is a woman that has the ability to sustain it or increase it. Right? So that is really how I look at it, where it's like, if you look at me as a dollar sign, y'all watch that show Bridgerton, right? Okay, that show, like that Regency era stuff, where they're all like, this is how you're supposed to marry. You marry within your station or above it. Like that stuff is really just real life. People act like they frown upon it. That's how life works. My father used to be very, he used to scrutinize my girlfriends a lot, not to their face, but behind the scenes, like, no, bro, no, that's not what you want. What does she have going for herself? Like, you can ask girls small questions and they'll lead with their ambitions and stuff. He, in his head, he's like, what does that have to do with you raising my grandchildren? You haven't talked about kids not one time. So I'm not gonna get any grandchildren out of you, and cancel her, right? So he's letting me know this woman is not gonna bring value to your life. She's looking for, she thinks she's a high value woman because she's trying to produce wealth. That's not what men look at. So any woman that's really trying to look at me as a dollar sign, I heard it, and my bad for not giving credit to whoever said it. The other day said, men know they're being taken. We know that what you here for, but make it look good to me. Bring something valuable to the table as well. I know you here because I have ability to produce. I know it. So yeah, trick me a little. That's why they call it trick. Make me fall for the trick. Make me feel good about tricking. And that's all I got.
So I'm going to give a personal story for this one. My husband had a whole lot of money stolen from him, right? From his first wife. So what he did was he actually put my name on his credit card, his major credit card. And he was going to see if I was going to take all his money. And me and him was in a relationship for 3 full years. And I mean, I didn't know that's why he was testing me. He told me this like a little bit before we got married, that's what he did. I did not know. I was just being myself. He took a chance and did that. Luckily, I didn't take or use all his money. Matter of fact, I asked before I, swiped and stuff like that. So that's kind of one way that he decided to marry me, because of that trust. But that was like a big risk, because giving a woman your credit card, obviously, I've seen women, they'll take a credit card and they'll just swipe it and, max the whole thing out and they'll be gone. But for him, he's like, well, I already lost a lot, so it ain't going to be nothing. I could just, do what he got to do to get it back. So that's one way he tested me, just because he wasn't sure if I was looking at him for his money. So you just never know. I think that, like what Kelly was saying, you should be test people to make sure, because today's time is different. There's a such thing now as scammers, right? That's a job today. You ask people, well, what do you do? I'm a scammer. Like, so it is what it is today. So just make sure y'all are protecting yourself.
I'm not sure how much y'all heard, but I do want to finish my story. Can I finish my story? My sister's husband, when she met him, he was very well off. And right before he was considering proposing to her, he did test her. He said, hey, something happened. I need to borrow $1,000. And then she was like, okay. She's like, is everything okay? And he was like, yeah, I just need to borrow $1,000. He didn't really need to borrow it, but he just wanted to see where she was. And she sent him the money, and he said he didn't use it. He just held it for a couple of weeks. He just wanted to see like how she was going to be about it. And he said she came through. She sent him the money, no problem, no questions asked. And he said he sent it back to her, and he's like, that's when I knew I was going to marry her for sure. Like that was the deciding factor, because I knew it wasn't all about the money, and she would have my back even if things went south. So that was the end of the story. Sorry, I don't know what happened. But
still married now?
Yes, they're still married.
Oh, that's nice.
So
she's not leaving that
question. What do you think?
It's about character.
She
actually helped him. She actually helped him exponentially grow his company.
Which is why she's not leaving that money.
Get out of here, Trigger Mike. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry. You had a question. My apologies.
Nah, am I coming in low or y'all can hear me?
Nah, you good.
Oh, okay. What do you think his I guess objective was? Was it to see if she was reliable? Was it like reliability and how she would handle it?
So he actually told me this story. And he said that he wanted to see if she was in it just for the money and to think that he could have possibly lost it. Would she still stick around? Number one. And number two, did she have it to give him if he needed it? Because if you're dating somebody that's just there for the money, they don't have it themselves, then how can I help you? I don't think you should ever date a woman that can't let you borrow $500 on the spot. Like if you needed it, like if you don't have it, like what are you doing with your life? But that's just me.
But that one, if a woman doesn't have $500 on the spot, it doesn't mean she can't be a good woman, mother, or wife.
It doesn't, but it also means she doesn't manage her money well.
Or she just doesn't have any, meaning she chose poor decisions, like, you know, working at a certain place that you know you're not going to get any dollars. She's settling for less. So that's more of a mental thing, I think. So maybe she needs some help on getting better, you know, a better career. Sometimes it could be like that.
Yeah. And, you know, women are described like you're supposed to help a man. Help comes in all various forms, right? So, yeah, sometimes it's money. In fact, with a man, it's less of the time it's going to be money. It could definitely be other things, you know, the time she's investing or time she alleviates him so he can actually go make more money. So women can help in all kinds of ways.
But I also think it should be a conversation. Like, I don't think when people enter a relationship, they have that talk. Like, what are your expectations? What do you expect from me as a wife? This is what I expect from a husband. And a lot of times a provider is in that list, but that's not a conversation that people just sit down and have. Like, this is what I expect from a man. Can you provide these things? This is what I expect from my wife. I've had a conversation with my boyfriend. For anyone who doesn't know who it is, I'm like, what do you expect? Like, if we get married, what do you expect from a wife? He was like, no one's ever asked me this question. But
yeah, I think
me a list.
They should do that and stop wasting time. That should be like maybe the second date and just start asking now.
First date.
First date. Okay.
if they have expectations and you can't match them, you shouldn't even be together. Like, I'm not willing to give you sex 3 times a week. I'm not willing to cook every day. You know, like whatever the list is, like, that's just not on my pass. You know what I mean? That wasn't his list. I was just.
Yeah, no, I hear you. See, sometimes like with that sex thing, how does someone really know they can't give it 3 times a week? They might be able to do it more because they like having sex with that person. So that one is kind of like a little iffy to me with that question. I don't know.
I've had a lot of guy friends say that their woman's like, I can do 3 times a week.
And you know, the funny thing about it, a lot of women act like that's a lot, but here's a caveat to 3-4 times a week. Every dude thinks he wants it that much until he gets a woman that can do that or better. Then he's like, whoa. So that's the funny thing about it. Go ahead and give him that. Give him exactly what he asked for.
Facts.
And you got a girl that can put it down. You're like, whoa, baby, I'm still recovering from.
Like, you wanted again? Okay.
I kind of want to get some other people in there on this topic real quick. Go ahead, Louise. What are your thoughts, sir?
So for me, you know, it's kind of interesting because one thing that I always think about is, you know, people who don't understand their value or don't understand their worth, they'll always come across people who will determine it for them, right? And I like to think and operate from the perspective that we all bring some sort of inherent value, right? And that's usually determined in money, time, network, effort, and the list could probably go on for a couple of other items. And then how you leverage that in relationships, right? Whether it's a business relationship, whether it's a monogamous relationship, so on and so forth. And I think that how you're able to kind of navigate that could kind of lead to much more fruitful, because obviously as men, we understand that there is something that we inherently have, whether that's the bag, whether that's the network, whether it's the lifestyle, there's always something, right? But you always want to find somebody that could grab that and multiply that. And, you know, and just continue to add that consistent value. And one thing that I always kind of think about is, you know, kind of community, right? Like that community value. You're always around other people who have either resources or have certain network connections that you can rub elbows with to kind of take it to that next level. And I think that's a deciding and determining factor whether you're going to grow with that said individual that will help you get to that next level. But I mean, in terms of people, you know, using you for your resources, we're all kind of meant to be used in some way, shape, or form. I think it's just that we need to kind of set those boundaries in terms of how far that goes and how we want to be used and add value into others.
What are your thoughts, Balance?
I think I agree with what everybody had to say. I think testing is a great point. For me, in the past, a man has tested me with his like cryptocurrency. So he showed me how to actually trade and gave me his login and all of that. So I learned how to trade and a whole bunch of stuff, how to buy and stuff like that. But there was a lot of crypto in there.
If you were a bad one, you could have traded it to your account.
All that money out. But you know, I think just learning the skill set was worth more than like taking somebody's money. I wouldn't take somebody's money anyway, but there are women that would. So it is a smart idea to test whoever you're dealing with, especially when you have something to lose. So I agree with that.
Brother Hink.
He added value to your life, though. He taught you a skill. So that's awesome.
Exactly. And I was very grateful.
Brother Hink.
I ain't trusting no heifer with no money with mine that doesn't have my last name. There's no damn way I would trust a woman with no money of mine that doesn't have my last name. There's no damn way. Because with that statement Kelly just made, you could have found a way to put that money in from your account to mine. No, hell no. But she's not the only one that would say that or think like that.
I said if she was a good woman, she could have
talked like that. But I don't see him as good. I don't see you as good. You're not good until I determine you're good. So I wouldn't go too far with testing a woman on the first date. I'm just going to ask you my just general questions on the first date because she's not going to stay long, depending on the answer to some of my questions I have. So I don't need to know if you want to be married or kids on the first date. I don't need to know that. I just need to know the general. And I'm just going to sit back and listen. If you talk about your kids or talk about that you want to have kids, that's cool. I'm not going to ask any questions because I may not even like you enough to even care about your goddamn kids or your future, depending on how you talk and how you come at me. I'm not going to waste my time. That's why you only get a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
But hey, can I say this? We're not talking about the first date, first of all. And then, to be honest with you,
that's what somebody was talking about. They said talking about the first 2 days.
Yeah, you should have the expectation conversation on the first date.
I don't need to have expectations on the first 2 dates. We may not make it.
But hey,
I got to go further than 2 dates, 2 dinners, or 1 coffee and a dinner before I let you know my expectations.
But hey, everything's a risk. If you're getting to know a woman, it is a risk. Why are men so afraid? Not all men, but a lot of men are afraid to take the risks. Like risks are a part of life.
See, it's no risk for you though as a woman.
That's not true.
It's no risk for you as a woman.
Look at all these single moms. They take the risk.
Again, it's still no risk for you as a woman.
It's a huge risk.
Let me finish. I didn't interrupt anybody. It's no risk to you as a woman unless you're having a child. Now, if you're having a child, you're taking a risk by getting pregnant. Not everybody has a child, though, Balance. Not everybody has a child. So it's a risk if you have a baby, yes. But if you make it through that risk, you're good. You're coming out on the other side, you're good. Because financially, I'm taking a risk. Emotionally, I'm taking a risk. Morally, I'm taking a risk dealing with you. Because, again, y'all ladies don't like to let your body count be known, right? So now morally, I mean, do I really want to deal with a woman that's a whore, a reform whore, or an ex-whore? No. But I won't know the truth because I don't even waste my time asking because you're not going to be honest with me, right? So I'm taking a chance right there. I'm shaking the dice right there. Most of y'all lady already know. Has a high body count. That's a common thing. Y'all already know they're going in. Y'all really don't care. But men do want to ask, yet men don't get the truth and the honesty in up front. So we to the point we're numb to it. We don't even really want to ask no more because we know we got to multiply times 5.
Hey,
right?
So
another risk, hold on, let me finish. Another risk is the risk that we take financially. Because y'all expect for us to take care of you guys, to make sure that y'all good and provide everything and all things, right? So what are you going to do? Are you willing to do one pot? Or you want to do 50-50? Or it's about what I seen a clip on, you give 100%, I give 0%. Is that what it is? So that's not a risk for most of you ladies. On the way out, if I decide or you decide that you don't want it no longer because you're not happy anymore, now there's another risk a man is taking that you're not taking for real.